Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. It is Tuesday at what time is it? 5 o'clock. And we're live and we're in on the air. And that is my lovely co-host, Miss Fiona, over there in the other studio. Hello, Miss Fiona.
Hello, Dr. Ron. How are you today?
I am doing wonderful. It's a beautiful day in Chicago. The sun is shining. Oh man, it is just like perfect. You can't go wrong with weather like this. I'm telling you, it is perfect in Chicago. The sun is shining. It's doing what it's supposed to do. And
And you look nice.
you say what? That say that again?
I said you look nice
Well,
with your new shirt on.
thank you. I told you I was going to do a wardrobe change once we got it all clear. For all those that have been following me, y'all know I've been celebrating all of our healthcare heroes, by wearing in solidarity a doctor's shirt. And now that we've got it all clear, okay, supposedly, and I'm going to put that on there, supposedly got it all clear. I have changed shirts, and to my co-host's pleasure, I got on a different shirt, y'all. Okay. Okay. I didn't think it made that much difference, but I guess it does.
It's the new factor.
Okay.
The
All
new
right.
factor.
Okay. Well, it was an important reason why I was doing that. We had healthcare heroes that's been on the front line taking care of all of our loved ones for the last year and a half. And I've been praying for them and celebrating them every time we go live. And I still celebrate them, and I'm still happy that they're out there on the front line because I don't think it's over with. That's just my opinion. I think we're going to have an outbreak. They're going to call it, Corona 39 or whatever, 29 or 109. I don't know what they're going to call it. But the fear is that it's going to probably make people sick and people die, which is always a concern. So I want to keep my healthcare heroes pumped up because when the second, third, fourth wave come, bam, they'll be ready for it. They know what to do now. So, yep, I'm celebrating them still, praying for them because, I've had loved ones to get sick and they send them back to me. So, especially my mom, that was what's up. She got corona. They patched her back up and they sent her home. Now I'm ready to send her back.
You funny.
Well, I know my mom don't listen to the show, so I can say stuff like that and get away with it. If this will be a show that she tune in. Oh, that's the way
I
you
was
feel
getting ready to
about
say
it.
that.
Oh my God. Look, got in trouble about a month ago. Fiona's grandmother was listening to the show, and me and the chef was over here cussing like sailors. And then grandma jumped on the line talking about what y'all talking about, I was like,
And it was like,
okay, we got to clean this up. All right. So we cleaned it up that day. He wants to come back when grandma not there.
Okay, I won't tell her.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she know the time now every Tuesday. So look, I got a program note that I must tell everybody about. I know we were scheduled to have David Emile on the show today, but he was not able to make it. He has been traveling out of town and he is not in a location where he can broadcast from. So instead, we have another legend in the music industry coming on to be with us today. So I'm looking forward to having with us Ron Prince. So for those that don't know who he is, stick around. You'll learn something new today. So stick around. Don't go nowhere. So let's get our announcement out of the way, and then we can get our guest on the air with us. Shout out to Donald Green all the way out in Arizona, who's hollering good afternoon. Thank you, Don, for turning in. For those that don't know, Donald used to be here in the Chicago area and was the proprietor of Sweet Georgia Brown. Now he's retired and did like most people from Chicago when they retired. They went there. He went to Arizona, and that's where he hanging out at now. So shout out to my brother in Arizona. So my announcements, since we talked about the healthcare heroes, I don't have to talk about them anymore. But I always like to give a shout out to all of the pastors and spiritual leaders that are on the front line as well, who have been, you know, been there for us to help us with all of our losses and all of the concerns of not knowing what's going on in the world. They have been there for us. So I always like to give them a shout out and a special shout out to Dr. Lloyd Michael Hunt, who is my mentor and spiritual leader. So I love to give him a shout out every chance I get. And for those that don't have a spiritual leader, I would encourage you to check out Dr. Hunt. He has some words of inspiration that will bless you tremendously. So I know you say, well, how do we find Dr. Hunt? Well, let me tell you how to find Dr. Hunt. I want you to go over to ask-dr-ron.com. When you get there, scroll up to the top. You'll see all of my social media tabs, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Click on the YouTube tab, and you will have an opportunity to see a playlist completely devoted to Dr. Hunt. So check it out. I'm sure you'll find a message that will inspire you, encourage you. Most of those messages are over 30 years old. So when you start listening to his messages, you'll find out that they have been inspiring people a long time. So please go over there and check it out. While you're over there on my YouTube channel, subscribe and please share some of the messages that we have there. We have a whole library for Black History Moments now because we've been doing that for a minute. So we want you to check out the Black History Moments, which features my lovely co-host Miss Fiona, as well as all of our other shows that are listed there as well. So check them out. A lot of good stuff there. While you're on the website, we want you to scroll down. You'll get to a place where you'll see our advertisers. Our advertisers make it possible for us to do what we do here. We need you to support them. Please check them out. All of our advertisers, if you click on any of the banners or the pluggers, will take you directly to their website for more information. We've got Port Again Sam up there, who brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. He brings it here to the Chicago area. He's available for wine tastings. I tell you, he brings in, his wine and cognac is so good, you will not go back to store-bought stuff ever again. I promise you. It's just that good. Also, you'll get a chance to see tax preparers. You'll also get to see financial educators. We've got a sponsor that teaches you how to learn how to trade the stock market. And you want to know before you start spending your money on the stock market how to do it properly. We also have Ralph Jenkins, who will help you build a website so your presence on the internet will be second to none. So check them out. All of our advertisers, all of our affiliates. We have news media outlets that we're affiliated with, so please check on their websites as well. Now, Ms. Fiona is going to tell us about a couple of sponsors that she's closely affiliated with.
Good afternoon or good evening. The first sponsor that we have is Kidtropolis. Kidtropolis is a child care center located at 8104 South Hospice Street. For those who are looking for child care for your children, your grandchildren, your stepchildren, your godchildren, whoever. If you need child care, you should check them out. Just another plug, they are having an open house on July 24th. I know that's in advance, but it's never too soon on July 24th, where they'll have bouncy houses, music, fun, It's a good day to also go over there, check out their open house. That's July 24th from 12 to 4. The other affiliate is Immaculate Educational Consulting, which is under rebranding at this time. However, still offering tutoring and educational business coaching and consulting. If you'd like to know more information, check out www.immaculateed.com or go to askdrron.com.
All right. So please keep all those announcements in mind. Check out our sponsors. I tell you, it's good to have people that believe in you. You know, I'm just gonna say it like that. If you got folks that believe in you, it's a beautiful thing. You know, we need
Mm-hmm.
your support, and we need you to support our sponsors. Well, look, we're at that time of the show now when we get to bring on our guest, and I tell you, I'm really excited to introduce this young man. This young man is, been a legend in the music industry for a very long time. And he has worked with live bands. He has a studio in his facility. He works with young people. I cannot talk enough about all that he has done in the Chicagoland area, and you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that has not heard of Ron Prince. So I'd like to welcome to the show, without further ado, Mr. Ron Prince. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. How's everybody?
Doing good, man. Did,
Good.
did, did I miss something? I didn't want to talk about all of your dark stuff. I just want to talk about the stuff that you're famous for that's not dark.
You're doing great, Doc.
You know, so when I talk about you playing live music, I know you have told me many times before that you don't play concerts and things of that nature anymore. But what were some of the live bands that you have worked with?
I played with the Kinsey Report, probably the more famous one or most known around here. We did about 4 or 5 albums for Alligator Records and Virgin Records. But I played with Denise Williams. I played with James Cotton, traveled all over Europe with him. Junior Well, I mean, I don't play with some everybody here in Chicago. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
I told Fiona earlier, I've only been around here doing it for about 50 years.
Yeah.
So I could rattle off a lot of names.
Well, I mean, it's nothing wrong with bragging on yourself. Every now and then,
Not at all.
you're supposed to give yourself accolades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because
Mm-hmm.
people that don't know, they need to know. So that's a beautiful thing.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now, more recently, since you don't do live stuff as much anymore, you're doing a lot of studio things. So what's going on in the studio with you now?
Right now, I'm working with several artists, producing some of their music and helping them produce their own music. I'm working with a project now with Charlie Hodge, call him Chuckaluck.
Okay, I've
You
heard of
may have
him. Yeah.
Chuckaluck from Bass Tribes. We're doing a whole project about Nancy Green,
Okay.
who's the original Aunt Jemima,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and it's just telling the history of her story and how she was ripped off for her brand. And we got a suite of music, I guess you could call it that, all dedicated to her
Okay.
and
So would
what
it
she contributed.
so would it be folklore? Because she goes all the way back to the turn of the early 1900s.
Right. And some of this music will take you back to that period, the way that we're performing it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So and that's then when is that coming out?
Well, we're still in the midst of recording it right now. I imagine we're going to be done recording in the next month, though.
Okay. All right. So, what would be some of the more noted recordings that you were featured on? I know you could say something, like I know you play. What all do you play? Let's start there. What all do you play?
I play drums, bass, and guitar mostly. I know the keyboard, but I'm not much of a player.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would be something that you have played on where you were featured on?
Well, a lot of our albums, the Kinsey Report, if you listen to that catalog, I'm featured on a lot of that because it's just a four-piece band, right? Two guitars, bass, and drums. So we went back and forth all the time.
Okay.
We together, me and Donald, probably close to 20 years playing, and we put out quite a bit of music.
Okay. So now, since you own your own studio, because there's a lot of activity going on around you, and I just want people to know that folks are coming in and out of your studio. So don't get distracted. Stay focused over here, guys. Don't focus on the pretty lady in the background. I did that before the show. You know. So, do you prefer?
that's Mo. She's a performer herself,
Okay.
and I'm doing a children's book with her.
Okay.
That's musical.
Okay.
Mm.
So, do you prefer live music over studio music, or vice versa?
I like live music.
Okay.
It's nothing like being out there playing.
Okay. So now that the world is open back up, you're going to make another insurgence of being back out there on the block.
Yeah, I do plan on that. Some of my fellows called me up the other day and said it's like the Blues Brothers movie. It's time to get the band back together.
Okay.
So,
All right. So,
so we've been off for quite a while, but yeah, I do look forward to getting back together with some of these guys and getting out there playing.
okay. All right. Now, Miss Fiona has a passion for young people, and I know you do too. So, what is it that you do with young people?
I mentor them in privately and at school. I'm an instructor over at CYDI, and
Awesome.
I kind of mentor them on the music. Right now, I'm doing more IT work there, but I also help them with their production on their music. And I have worked with a group called the Music Box Foundation. It's a firehouse over there on 68th and Harper, and we uh, have music lessons and seminars every Saturday. It's,
Okay. All right. So you putting together an orchestra, R&B band, or what is it that you're doing with the young people?
it's we teach them horns, drums. It's like an orchestra, pretty
Okay.
much. Yeah. So, yes,
Okay. So you got any good vocalists over there?
we do have a few fine vocalists as well, young
Okay.
people. Uh-huh.
All right. So
Oh, I've got this one 16-year-old kid, and I mean he can really sing. You hopefully you'll get to hear some of this material sooner than later.
okay, good. So I know Miss Fiona's chomping at the bit over there, waiting to get a hold to you. So I kind of look. I kind of warmed her. I kind of warmed her up a little bit by asking some of the key areas in which you do stuff, so she knows where to go hit you at. Now, go ahead, Miss
Okay.
Fiona.
Hi, Ron Prince. How are you?
I'm fine, Fiona.
Wonderful. It is a pleasure to meet you. I've heard really good things about you and know that a lot of people do know you around Chicago. So I'm really interested in to get to know you myself and ask you all these questions. um,
Okay.
what inspired you to get into music?
Well, I've been playing music since I was about 12 years old, and just I was always drawn to it. I was before then I was dancing and singing. Just was a since I was a little kid.
Mm. Did you have any any people that inspired you to play any of the music instruments that you play?
My
or was it
biggest,
natural?
now I would say my biggest influence would probably be Jimi Hendrix. When
Mm.
I heard Jimi Hendrix and I heard that Band of Gypsies album, that was my destiny to try
Mm.
to learn that. And he was a big influence. And then of course I played with all the greats: Albert King, BB King, Albert Collins. All those guys were my mentors.
Mm. And then, tied to a lot of musicians, is you have to have like some kind of strength and willpower. What strengths do you have that you believe make you a great musician?
Well, like I said, I've been around 50 years doing it. I'm only as great as what people say, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm still learning.
Mhm.
Music is something I think that it just keeps evolving. You have to keep evolving with it. So
Mhm.
you're always learning something, especially trying to hang with these young people now. You don't want to be an old geezer around these guys when you're trying to keep up with the music. You got to
Mhm.
stay in the know.
That is very true. Do you have a creative process that you go through before you start playing or creating a new song?
I usually like to sit down with an artist and listen to them sing, and I'll pick up my guitar and make something that goes with it. And that's usually how I like to start music when I'm
Is
writing with
listen.
other people. Yeah, I just listen to what they're singing, then I create something behind it.
Mm, okay. So if
And
you could go ahead.
and it gets a lot easier when you're in a band for 10 years.
Mhm.
It's pretty easy to come up with ideas because you're constantly playing off each other.
That's true. Do you you mentioned something, if I could just go back first. You mentioned something about playing music box on Saturdays with children. Is that something that's open to the public or is that private?
No, it's open to the public. I wish as many people can that hear this will come over and inquire about it. We do the from 1 to 4 o'clock. We're there
Every Saturday?
every Saturday.
Okay, and what was that location again? I'm sorry.
The 68 43 Harper. It's the old firehouse.
That's South Shore, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. Now you're born and raised in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I've lived a few other places, but I was born and pretty much raised here.
okay. Go ahead, Fiona. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Um, hmm. What would you say is your favorite song by Jimi Hendrix?
Machine Gun.
Now, would it be too much to hear you play a little bit? I saw you had your guitar.
Oh no, there you
Oh,
go again, trying to make a man give a
okay.
concert.
Let's see.
She always do
I
that,
could.
man. Look, I don't know
Okay.
where she get that from. She trying to get a free concert.
Well,
Yeah.
I ain't scared. Hold on.
Uh,
Okay. He
yeah.
asked and you shall receive.
Yeah, but you see, you got to get up, walk away from the screen, go find an instrument to play it with, and then he got to come back. So, now we got to stall because you can't have dead air on the radio or TV. Yeah. Um,
But
yeah.
I give you and I more time to talk,
Okay.
Dr. Ron. I see.
Um,
I like talking to you.
I know that's right. Dave Johnson asked a question. His name is Ron Prince. Ron Prince. Okay. Uh-oh, there you go, y'all.
Mhm. Yeah.
Ain't nothing but blues.
Yeah.
Well,
Look.
that sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah, look, Miss Fiona's getting encouraged. Jed said, "Awesome, thanks, Miss Fiona."
Thank you. Thank you. See, somebody's got to fill me out there.
Yeah, you're right. Now,
And he loves my music.
yeah. So Ron,
I love to write you guys a theme song.
okay, do that, do that. Yes. So do you sing as well?
I sing. I try to sing.
Okay,
Some people can digest my voice, but I was not brought to this earth to sing.
I know that's right, brother. Me
I
neither.
hear you.
You know, look, only in the shower. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, now I have to do it on stage, but I got my gimmicks and my techniques
yeah.
to make it happen. I got my guitar to help bag me up.
Okay. All right. Jed said, "Wow, acoustic Hendrix, much love." You know,
Yeah,
so you got a
yeah.
compliment already. So,
Thank you.
so Miss Fiona, did you have something else without trying to make him try to play his next best favorite song?
I'll come back to that. You can go right ahead.
She does that to every person that we get that's a performer of any kind. She gets them like, "Can you sing for me?" Now if they send the show a bill, I'm forwarding the bill to you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I forewarned you about the singing,
There you go.
so I could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pick and choose my battles.
So now, does your studio have a name?
Yes, it's called Ron House Studios.
Okay. And
Doesn't
in order for, like, say, for a person who's tuned in, who has an aspiration or a desire to want to work with you as a producer of their project, what's your schedule like? I know you say you just got back in town. So futuristically, how long you gonna be in town? Are you taking on any new people? What's going on with that?
I I'm I'm in town for a while, and then, like I say, we have the school over there on Saturdays, and we also use that facility to. We have a studio in there as well as a green screen room where we do videos too.
Okay.
So it's a. I have a lot of room for someone who's interested in learning because I also engineer
Okay.
running my studio. So people that are interested in that field, that is the spot where we do that.
Okay. Now,
And I would give out my phone number if people want to call. It doesn't bother me because
okay.
I have an iPhone that'll block you anyway if you no.
Look, and his phone sounds like a firehouse bell. Like when it starts ringing, I'm like, "Are you close to the firehouse or something?" So an interesting point you just brought up. A lot of people nowadays, and I've been in the business for over 45 years myself, and it is not meant for everybody to be a part of performing in front of a microphone or in front of a camera. So there are so many other aspects of the industry that people can make a very good livelihood, like engineering, audio engineering, light engineering, doing different parts of, being behind the camera.
Right.
So are you teaching these young people everything related to being around the production?
I teach them everything from starting from their ear to the speaker and every wire that's hooked up in between, the purpose of the wires, and the whole router from the router to the tutor.
Okay. And that's
So
important.
that
Yeah.
yeah, that's really important because it's not just about going in somewhere, start turning a bunch of knobs, and you don't know what you're doing,
Right.
especially with the kind of equipment that we have. So I give them a thorough lesson in that aspect of it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. It's mentoring in that area, especially for young Black children, people of color. We need to know this stuff. When I first got in this business 45 years ago, they didn't want us around. They didn't want us to know nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
They was making, stupid money. They would show up and it'd be old guys with beer bellies and white and sitting around, man. making, $100 an hour, hanging out till from the sun come up to the sun go down, doing everything that it takes. So when you start asking them questions, they'll be like, who are you again? So sometimes you just got to get in there and be self-taught on a lot of stuff. Because when I first got in this business 45 years ago, I was a DJ. So, I used to spin records, and I realized then in my, late teens, before my 20s started, that, you're only going to make money as long as you're popular as a DJ. And once your popularity fades out, then you ain't gonna make no more money. So
Yeah, the
I
cash flow follows that for
yeah,
sure.
so I started, like, okay, well, I need to learn how to mix music. I need to learn how to be a production manager. I need to learn how to be stage manager. I need to learn how to be tour manager. I need to learn how to do merchandise. So I learned every paying capacity possible to make sure that I can be marketable in this industry as long as I have been. Now, I'm retired now because I ain't trying to go on tour no more, but to teach this to people is a gold. It's a golden art form. And a lot of people can make enough money to retire. And like you said, your ear. So by me listening to the music that was marketable at the time, made me know what it's supposed to sound like. So you hear an album that is a success, and you listen to every instrument the way it's laid in place on that success story, because an album is a success story. And see, they don't even have albums anymore. They just got digital everything now.
Yeah, right.
You know, but
MP3s.
right,
Right.
but if
What's
you
an
hear
album?
everything how it's laid, nothing is, overpowering the other, and then you learn how to do that. That makes you a successful engineer, you know. And in lighting, some people don't even realize, when you go on stage to be able to see the performances, it requires a lighting engineer to tell them what's going on stage, spotlights and all these other things that are required. So, it's so much to learn behind the scenes that I think is
And
just as
I,
important in front.
the thing is to get the kids interested in it
Hmm.
because it's got to be something that they want to do. Music, I'm self-taught, but I still learn from watching other people and being around people that knew how to play. And the same thing with I also repair computers. I can build a computer from scratch and to whatever design that you want. I learned that because I wanted to learn it. I'm self-taught in that as well. But I think that because I was interested in it,
Hmm.
it was something interesting to me. And if you can get their interest, then you're halfway there because they gotta want to do it. It's nothing you
Hmm.
can just show them and they forget the next day. It's something that's really got to be in your DNA or a goal that you're trying to reach to understand that you got to go through this process to get to that process.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is another important lesson too. In the 45 years that I've been in the business, I better have some other skills and trades. Otherwise, it's gonna be some days that I ain't gonna eat.
Mhm.
You got that right.
you know, so
There's nothing wrong with a jack of all trades.
because guess what? When the show's not out or a tour's not going, and you can't make no money, in a theater or a venue somewhere, you better know how to drive a truck. You better know how to build a computer. You better know how to do something else other than what you like doing. And there's nothing wrong with making money doing what you like doing. But if you got a family and you got kids to feed, you better know how to do something else. You know,
you you
yeah,
got that right.
yeah. So even that's an important lesson. Because when kids are out here, and I see Jez said songwriting, kids need that in this world derivative direct. I can't even speak it. Different types of
Derivative.
music. Yeah, derivative music. So, even I used to run across people all the time. Everybody think they got a hit song. It ain't a person that I ran across that don't think they got a hit song. They gone in the studio and they've spent their money getting this song laid down. And then,
Yeah.
boy, they like, man, I got a hit song. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll listen to it. And sometimes when I listen to it, I realize somebody stole your money. Because the engineer
Right.
gonna get paid no matter whether it's a his song or not. you know so and I know you know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, that song was tailored just to their liking,
Right,
and that was the only thing that was thought about when they
right,
did it.
right,
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
you know
I have a quick
Go
question.
ahead.
What, Mr. Prince, do you find a big difference between 2021 and when you were coming up? Because you said 50 years, with the technology being more advanced now than back when you first started.
When I first started, if you wanted to do what I'm doing right now, you probably would have to have $250,000 to even
Mm,
play the game. So your technology has definitely brought things to a whole different level. But it's good and bad in that, because I think that the way that back then we had to play together. We had get a band to get a sound. It wasn't nobody to go in the studio with a track or a drum track or something like that and hits. You actually had to play the music back then. And
Hmm.
mhm.
our music back then had a message too. It was addressing the things that were going on in the world, and trying to make a change. And I
Mhm.
think now the music, when I listen to some of the lyrics or some of this more popular music, I want to stuff my ears with anything so I don't have to hear it, because the music is so derogatory. I think that when people sit around and listen to that derogatory music all day and night, it makes them derogatory. That the music is just on another vibe now that I don't like.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Not all music, but a lot of this garbage that they feeding our kids.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
I definitely would agree. And then even
Fiona,
when
your microphone is giving us a little crazy static. Yeah. Try it now.
is it better?
Yeah, that went down some.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And to add to that, what do you think about how nowadays you could just send if I did a verse, if I was doing a verse on your song, I could just record it at my house and then just send it to you. Do you think that takes away from music in its whole entirety?
No, I love that, because
Okay.
I got friends in Africa. I send them a track, they play something on it and send it back to me. It couldn't happen no other way. I got friends in New York and LA. We do work together, and it's just the easiest and best way to do it.
Okay.
I mean, when you're working with trusted musicians that can interpret what you're trying to do, it usually goes well.
So that's the end of technology that works well for you.
Well, I think technology is going to be different next week.
Yeah.
It's we. I don't know what they're going to bring, but I know it makes my job easier and easier as a producer and an engineer to have all of these things available to me in such small packages.
Gotcha. That's all I had, Dr. Ron, for that second.
Okay. I got a question, $1 million question. We know because we in that age group, that there's nothing new under the sun. Everything always goes in circles. Everything repeats itself. You being on the front line of music right now, do you think that we'll ever go back to the way music used to be with R&B and messages in our music that were for everybody versus this the modern day music that we have now with digital music with slap your mama and pull your pants down, all that
Right.
kind of crazy stuff.
that I think that's a fad, Dr. Ron. That really is. It's music has eras. You had jazz, you had R&B, you had blah blah blah, and rap has had its turn as well. But one thing that never dies is the real music. It's always in there somewhere, and it's always some kid somewhere that really gets it, and
Mhm.
they are the future of music. So music is going to take care of itself, and I think it's always been thought of as a God-given gift to me. So I don't think he's going to ever stop giving that. And if you look around in the right places, you'll find it.
Okay. All right. So the answer is yes. It'll come back. It'll
It'll come
come
Mhm.
back.
back.
It's gonna come back better than ever.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it because I promise you, man. I noticed a couple of years ago, before the pandemic, that record stores are starting to come back. They started talking about albums and the history of albums and how they were
And right,
recorded.
vinyl. They
Right.
bring the vinyl back.
Yeah, albums, man. I was like, man, look at that. I love it. I love it.
I think that'll be a short-lived fad as well. They
Okay.
don't, they don't manufacture the even the materials that they used to make it out of. The way they make it now, it's not the same. It's not go ever go back to that.
Uh-huh.
Just the raw
Mhm.
materials, the way it was made, the whole thing,
Well, I mean, even when you played an album, well, the needle on an album and the scratches and all of the
the
uh
vibration,
yeah,
definitely.
and how an album was even played. I think now they probably got apps that'll duplicate that. When you're doing recordings to give people that sense of
Right.
of what recording was like back in the day.
Oh
So
yeah, I got a plug-in that'll make it sound like it was 1922 and probably had a little dirt on it.
I
You
know
can
that's right.
all of these plugins, you can just about simulate anything you've ever heard before, and even some new things.
Right.
So,
Right. So modern day, what would you say is one of your favorite artists, producers that are out there right now, what they're doing, something to keep an eye on that you feel is up and coming, it's gonna be a smash, I know they got on every street corner when we were coming up, they used to have, quartets and bands out there singing doo-wops under the street light.
right,
Now,
right.
now,
That's
now these guys out here, cussing and slinging bullets under the street light. So what would you say would be something, nowadays that would be really something to keep an eye on?
it's that's it depends on what genre you're looking for. Now, I like that girl, Jasmine Sullivan. Her new record out. She's an extraordinary singer. I
Okay.
think that she has a certain power that a lot of them lack. And so I really admire her gift. And it's a little guy from over there in London. He performed with Daniel Jacob Collier.
Yep.
You
Mm-hmm.
familiar with
He's
him?
No.
yeah, he's real
He
good.
he is so brilliant. And all of those young
Mhm.
folks in that genre, they got something special. Because
Mhm.
I mean they've had time to study not only the 20s, but they studying still 2000. The stuff
Yep.
that's everything is new, and they once they get all of that inside them, it comes out very creative, like some of the guys I just mentioned.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a lot of them. I'm always on YouTube looking at young people and listening to their talents, and there's quite a few of them out there.
Mm,
Mhm.
okay.
I think what needs to happen is radio needs to start supporting the right kind of music and the right kind of musicians, and and that's going to bring about a whole nother genre of musicians to join in and actually learn how to play an instrument.
Yeah, well, old school radio is not even relevant anymore. I know I'm gonna make a whole lot of people mad by saying that, but old school radio does not, you know, have the influence that it used to have back in the day. You know,
No, I don't, because they've heard those songs so many times, and as soon as you put it on, they go, "Oh no,
yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
change the station."
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's got commercialized, and now internet radio literally has made what used to be local worldwide now. Like my show can be picked up worldwide.
Yeah.
It's not restricted to just the Chicagoland area. Anybody with an internet access can pick this show up worldwide and watch it as often as they like. So I think that even terrestrial radio stations have picked up some type of internet presence. So even with the internet presence that they have, is to be able to compete, with what's going on worldwide. So
Right, right. How far of an exposure do you have with it? That's always been the problem.
yeah, yeah.
So it's got to be distributed so everyone can get it at the same time.
Exactly, worldwide. Yeah, I was just talking
Yeah.
to another legend today, and he was kind of telling me how the marketplace is all about new music and it all being released at the same time. I know you know Gus Redman, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I don't know too many people that don't know Gus. Me and Gus were talking earlier.
only about 40 years, bro.
Yeah. Gus ain't changed, man. He's always trying to break a record somewhere. And
Right.
and he was talking about how when he circulates a song now, it's circulated not just in the United States but internationally as well. Because he want everybody playing it at the same time, everywhere, universally. And then that way it's heard, and then it can do what he gets paid to do, put it on the charts. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
I got a song I just did with a jazz artist named Scarlett Parks, and it's charting number 6 in the UK, and we can't even get the people over here not even interested in playing it. It's so hard to get on anybody's playlist nowadays.
hmm
Depending on,
yeah, yeah, and then let me ask you this: are playlists even relevant anymore?
well, to the radio stations, I guess.
Okay, yeah, because back in the old day, we were talking about this. I know you know Lee Michaels, right? And we were
Hmm.
doing a birthday celebration for Lee a couple of weeks ago, and we had some of the old DJs drop in to help us celebrate his birthday. We do a show, shameless plug, Street News Now, every Thursday from 8 p.m. until. And we're all over every outlet, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. And some of the guys were coming on, and we were talking about that, how they used to break records in the old days. You used to have to call the local radio station and ask for, would you play that song by the Jackson Five? Would you play that song by Earth, Wind and Fire?
Right. Have everybody call.
That's right. That's how they used to break songs back in the old days. And
Right.
and it was, and it was not unusual, because if you didn't have money to pay payola, that's what you was gonna have to do. You know,
Well,
yeah, yeah,
Well,
because
see, it's a whole different game now. You just have to really be savvy with this internet
right,
and to hook up a worldwide distribution. I think that's coming. It's got to, somebody's got to break the mold, and soon where we can all get in on it with our own system.
yeah,
Like Byron Allen is doing.
right.
We need to be able to touch every place at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those that don't know, Byron Allen has been buying up news, sports, all type of television stations all across the country, and trying to make sure that our programming is being seen and heard, putting up our shows on his networks, because we get neglected, you know,
Right, we do.
you know,
That's so important.
yeah, you know.
I'm looking forward to being a part of some of that.
Yeah, you're right. Well, look, man, we got about 10 minutes left. And I know you talked about your program with the children. Anything else you want to share with the public before, we get ready to get out of here today?
Well, I'm right now trying to just work at the firehouse with these kids over there. I think it's important if we can get as many kids over there as we can and some more instructors.
Okay.
You know, it's a tribal thing as far as I'm concerned. We need some people from the west side, south side, east side, west side, and come together on Saturday. See if we can get.
Well. As the world opens back up, I'll see about coming down there, helping you in whatever capacity. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't play no instrument, but I can motivate. I can tell them about how it used to be. Let me tell you about the time, the time, the time.
Oh, that that's gonna do it, Doc. And bring Fiona with you, and yeah, I give you a free pass.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See, I can't even get in the door without Fiona. Lord have mercy. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Miss Fiona, you got any more questions for Ron?
I definitely appreciate you working with the kids, and I think always giving back is always positive. So I can just be encouraging for you to keep doing what you're doing. 50 years is a long time. Continue.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that, and I
Mhm.
hopefully my dad just turned 95 this year, so
Wow.
I got a long way to go
I
if
know
I'm gonna
that's right, brother.
catch up. So
I know that's right, man. Keep counting them up. Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna try to.
I
Yeah, and
agree.
and and right here on the screen, you all see Ron Prince Facebook connection there, so you can go over to his Facebook page, send him a friend request. I'm sure his secretary or somebody will accept you as a friend because I know he don't go on Facebook. I already know, you know.
Now, see, my daughter and Mo even helped me with that.
Uh-huh.
'Cause I be so swamped sometimes. Facebook, man, that's all day. I don't have time for that.
I know that's right. That's what I just told him. So send the request, and one of his peoples will
was
respond. They'll
we
wave at you.
here?
Yeah, they'll wave at you. And then I know earlier you said you were willing to give out your phone number for people to get in touch with you. So you want to give that out now?
I will. My phone number is 773-527-8469. And you can use that number as a contact if you're interested in the school or if you're interested in my recording studio or if you got a broke computer.
Man, this boy, he just put a plug out there, didn't he? Give him,
He
give,
did. He
give,
did.
give him the number again. Give him the number again.
773-527-8469.
Yeah, and that's laptops, desktops.
Desktops,
Yeah, yeah,
Mac or PC,
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Now you don't do too much with programming, right? You just do hardware.
Yeah, hardware.
Yeah, because it is a difference. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for people that specialize in hardware, I tell you, boy, he had my
Well,
computer sitting on the floor. I was hurt. Like, pick my computer up off the floor. You know, yeah, Y'all had me sitting there for 2 whole days, and then eventually it's like, okay, it's done, it's working. Yeah.
We we enjoyed your company, Doc.
I
That's part.
know. I'm sitting there. Look, some lady dropped in from France talking about oolah.
Yeah, that's my good friend. She's a bass player.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they started a whole concert right there in the studio. And wasn't nothing being then after it was over with, of course, the engineer in the room stood up there and said, I should have recorded it.
Yeah, right.
Is she
Like
still
that Chris Paul commercial.
yeah. Is she still here or is she gone?
Cecile is here. She's actually back in Chicago.
Okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So are you doing any live performances anywhere you want to tell the people about where they can come find you?
I play every Saturday out in South Elgin at
Okay.
a restaurant called Dee's Place.
Okay.
It's right off of Randall Road and Pamela Drive. And I play there every Saturday, but we have a mixed band between jazz and blues, and we do jazz on Sundays.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a beautiful thing. So now they got another place to come look you up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every Saturday.
Yeah. All right. That's a beautiful thing. Now, look, before we get out of here, we got a couple of minutes left. I want to encourage everyone to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. Check out all of our vendors, all of our advertisers. Support them. We need your support. Without them, we would not be able to do what we do. Please, please, please spread the word. Go over to my YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. You'll get a chance to see every time we post something. So, as always, by you being our special guest today, Ron, what would you like to leave with the people before we get out of here?
I would like to say that the summer is coming, it's getting hot, and everybody needs to cool down, keep the violence down, and find some love in your heart for your fellow man.
Amen. Those are profound words because you in the hood, brother.
I'm in the thick of it.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah. So we thank you, man, for coming on, being a guest on the show. Miss Fiona, what you got for the people on this week?
I don't have nothing else to say after that.
You ain't got
He
nothing?
said, "No, those are great words."
Yeah, that is. Those are profound words. You
Well,
know,
thanks for having me, and I look forward to doing it again. I'll give you a progress report on what I've done since this time to next time I see you.
there you go. So you gonna come back and see me again?
Yes, I will.
Okay, and let me know. And I encourage other people to participate as well. Let me know when it's convenient for me to come down and talk to your young people. I love talking to young people. So you let me know when it's convenient because I don't know, you might be in the middle of reprimanding them and it might not be a good day to come down there. Because sometimes with kids, you got to check them. Every now and then
Yeah.
you got to remind them, look, fool, you know.
You know what though? The children I have over at the school are nothing like that. Sometimes they be a little tired and because they be up playing the games all night when they come. But if I can get their attention, they're pretty good.
Well, that's good. That's good. And that's leaving it paying it forward because there'll always be somebody
Mhm.
here to be able to say, Ron Prince helped me with this. He gave me a different direction to be able to look at things. So I applaud you and thank you, brother. Keep up the good work,
All
So
right.
so look, we're going
Thanks for having me.
yes, sir. You stay right there, don't go nowhere. We want you guys to let me throw this up on y'all right quick. Make donations and contributions. We need your support. Please, please spread the word. Tell people about what you see and hear over here on the Ask Dr. Ron show. And we're gonna get out of here. See y'all on Sunday when we do our Black History Moment.